Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara, and in today's video I'm going to be highlighting 4 different towns and neighborhoods around Asheville that I would consider very walkable. Before I dive into those 4 places, I quickly want to just define walkable. So when I think of a walkable town or neighborhood, I'm thinking of a place that's walkable to maybe a grocery store, different restaurants, different shops, parks, and really just everything that you need. In some of these areas you might be able to get away with not even having a car, but I still would consider a lot of places around Asheville as still needing a car, at least for some things. 2 of the places I'm going to be mentioning are neighborhoods and the other 2 are towns. Before I dive into this video, I also want to mention that if any of the locations that I mention sound really interesting to you and you want to learn more about them, I've actually already filmed really in-depth videos of each of these locations. So as I mention them, I'll link them up here and I'll also leave them tagged in the description box. Feel free to go and click on those videos as well if you want to learn more. Let's start out with neighborhoods. This first one you could arguably say it's 2, but I'm going to combine West Asheville and the River Arts District as one neighborhood. Theoretically they're 2 because West Asheville is on the west side of the French Broad River and then River Arts District is on the east side, but they're so close to one another that I just figured it would be easier to just combine them into one category for the purposes of this video. So I would say if you're looking to be within biking distance and even walking distance to downtown Asheville and a lot of different shops and restaurants and parks and things like that, this area is probably going to be one you're going to want to look into. So if you're not too familiar with West Asheville, you have Haywood Road that runs through the center, and that's where you're going to find a lot of your shops and restaurants, even a couple grocery stores. There's an Ingles there, but there's also a local place called the West Village Market. I've gone in there a few times. They have local produce and some dry goods. They also have like a bulk section for different shampoo, conditioner, hand wash, things like that. It's a cute little sustainable, like eco-friendly kind of place. West Asheville is also home to a lot of my favorite restaurants like 9 Mile, Dobra, Sunny Point, Taco Billy, Taco Boy, The Walk. What else is there? Trashy Vegan, Homeground, I love that place. There's just so many different options there. Oh, and there's Whole Donuts, Owl Bakery. There's even a few breweries like New Belgium. I know there's some others too, but there is just a huge variety of places to go in West Asheville. Basically, off of Haywood Road, there's neighborhoods on the north side, south side, and then if you go down a bit further, you also have Carrier Park, which is just a park that's along the French Broad River. A lot of people will walk their dogs there. It's a great, just quick, near the city spot to go like after work. I know there are a bunch of like exercise classes and different ways to get involved at Carrier Park. I think it was like a couple months ago, Ian and I had gone to like a free intro Tai Chi class. There's just so much going on in West Asheville. So far I've really just talked about West Asheville, but to give you an idea of like the River Arts District area, basically that's going to be home to a ton of different galleries. There are a lot of really talented artists there. You could just spend days wandering through all the galleries. And there are restaurants and breweries and shops and just plenty of stuff to keep you occupied there. And because of where it's located, you're right by the French Broad River, where there is actually like a walking trail along the river. And then on the east side of the River Arts District, you have downtown Asheville. So you're right smack dab in the middle between West Asheville and downtown. So you just have a ton of different options for things to do. Well, I think I've covered that pretty well, but before I dive in the next location, I just want to give you a little bit of an idea of kind of the vibe of West Asheville and the River Arts District. So as you could probably guess, it's going to be an area that's going to be very artsy. There are a ton of different murals kind of painted on the buildings, like along Haywood Road. There are different community gardens throughout the neighborhoods. And something to note too is that the homes in this area, of course, to be more walkable, they're going to be on smaller lots. Of course, for an area to be more walkable, you're going to need to have smaller, close together properties. So just kind of keep that in mind if this is an area that you're considering. The second neighborhood worth mentioning is the Montford and 5 Points area. This is going to have a very different feel to West Asheville and the River Arts District. So the Montford area is located just north of downtown Asheville, directly north of Interstate 240. Montford is a historic area, so picture larger and older homes, tree-lined streets, things like that. Much different feel to the smaller, more artsy kind of homes that you'll find in West Asheville. From the Montford neighborhood, you can easily walk or bike downtown. There are even a couple restaurants that are actually in the neighborhood. One of my all-time favorite restaurants is there, All Day Darling Cafe, and there's actually another 9-mile location there as well. You also have White Duck Tacos right down the road on the water, and you have the botanical gardens that are easily within walking or biking distance depending on where you're located. That's a really great place to go for a little walk or even a little picnic. Something I've done a couple times too is just park there in the Montford area and just wandering around the neighborhood, looking at some of the beautiful homes. It's also worth mentioning that there's actually a little theater in the neighborhood too. So I think it was this July, Ian and I went for the first time to watch one of their free plays. I forget the one that we watched. I'll look up the name of it, I'll leave it here, and then I'll also link it down in the description box. But it was a really, really fun experience and super cool that it was free too. Something else that's worth mentioning, but a little bit unusual, is that there's a cemetery there where some like locally famous people were buried, and it's actually a pretty area to walk around. I've walked around there a couple times, and it's just kind of cool if you're already walking around the neighborhood to just kind of check that out too. If you know anything about the Asheville area, then this third location will come as no surprise, and that is Black Mountain. Black Mountain has easily become one of the most popular areas around Asheville, and I can definitely see why. I've already filmed a couple different videos there because there's just so much to cover. It's a really unique spot because it has a small mountain town feel, but there's actually so much to do there. Literally, you could spend all day there and probably not see everything. The center of town has so much to offer. Honestly, a lot of my favorite restaurants are located in Black Mountain as well. Some of my all-time favorites are Open Oven, which has a beautiful rooftop area that you can sit, have breakfast or lunch, look at the mountain views. It's right in the center of town. There's also Cousins Cuban, La Guignette, Louise's Kitchen. There are so many, honestly. This isn't gonna be like a restaurant video, so I'll just give you those few, but there are just so many options there for food, for local shops. There's even a little grocery store downtown. There's also Lake Tomahawk, which is a beautiful little park and lake tucked in the neighborhood right near town. And it's just a beautiful little half-mile walk. I've walked there so many times, and it's just a really beautiful spot to hang out. There are even some cool music venues downtown, and right up the road you have Montford. Montford is home to Montford College, which is just a beautiful college. Ian and I went there last December around Christmas time for a Christmas concert that was really fun. There are trails in the area, and it's easily biking distance to Black Mountain. It's just a really, really neat area. Honestly, out of all the places that I'm mentioning in today's video, Black Mountain is easily my personal favorite. The fourth and final place is Weaverville. Weaverville is also becoming a bit more popular, but not to the extent of Black Mountain. Weaverville is only 15 minutes driving time from downtown Asheville, but it has a cute little town, so it's not very big. It's only a few blocks, but again, they have a lot of great restaurants there. Honestly, the best sushi that I've had in the whole Asheville area is in Weaverville, a place called Soba. I love that place. It's absolutely delicious. Every time I go there, everything I get is so, so good. There are other restaurants there that are amazing. There's Well Bred Cafe. There's another restaurant that people keep telling me I need to go to. I cannot think of the name of what it is, but I'll put it on the screen here. Weaverville also has a lot to offer in terms of festivals and events. They have a really good 4th of July fireworks display. They have a great little arts and crafts festival in the fall, and there are even other events that I haven't mentioned on here. Surrounding town, there are a few neighborhoods. I will say this is probably going to be the least walkable of all of the areas that I mentioned. However, I would still consider Weaverville as quite walkable because there are neighborhoods surrounding the town. Well, that covers it for my recommendations on the 4 most walkable neighborhoods and towns around Asheville. I really hope that this was helpful for you in some way, whether you're currently living around the Asheville area and just aren't too familiar with what's here. Maybe you're looking to live in a more walkable area and become less dependent on your vehicle, or maybe you don't even live here at all and you're just trying to get an idea of what the area is like. I do hope that you found this useful in some way, and if you have any questions at all, always feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my contact info here on the screen and also in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share this video with your family and friends, leave me a comment, let me know what type of video you would like to see next time, and of course, don't forget to subscribe as well. All right, everyone, I will see you very soon in the next one.